Hello, and welcome back to another edition of Carrie's Gardening Channel. So today is November the 11th, 2019, and I'm going to be harvesting some tomatoes out of the greenhouse today. Now I am gardening in Pennsylvania in Zone 5B, and this is my first year with growing stuff in my greenhouse, and I'm doing an experiment. If you're new to my channel, I'm doing an experiment to see if I can grow vegetables year-round in my greenhouse. So we did already have snow outside, and you can see my tomato plants here are loaded with tomatoes, and there's a lot more blossoms coming. Now I didn't turn the big fan on yet. We do have a little fan now that runs 24/7 to help circulate the air in the greenhouse, to help keep it warmer in here with the heat that we have. Now these here are early girl tomatoes here, and I still do have Mr. Stripey in the greenhouse. He's an heirloom tomato, and I also have an early treat hybrid tomato too. Just gonna take these off here. Get in here. Now I'm wearing my jacket because it's cold outside, and going from the house over, I'm just keeping my jacket on for now. Just gonna take this off here. I don't want to pull on it because I don't want to damage my my tomato stalks. There we go. One here. I got this one here off so far. The early treat hybrid tomatoes, they're not ready to be harvested yet. They're still turning red, so I'm going to let them get redder before I take them off. And we did get our lights installed in for our leafy greens here. And this is bok choy here. And then I have 2 containers of purple lady bok choy. And then I have lettuce. Now I do need to plant more lettuce because I didn't get to plant enough of that. And I have more bok choy, some spinach. My squash plants were moved under the lights. I don't think they were getting enough light because they should be much larger than that. And they were kind of growing slow. So we moved them under the lights here. And here's another thing of lettuce here. Now I didn't put any lights up in the greenhouse yet over the tomato plants, and the reason why I didn't is the tomato plants are growing and blooming so well, and they're producing the fruit off of them, that I'm just not going to put the lights up yet. You know, maybe if it snows and then they're not getting the light, I'll put them up, but as of right now, they're growing so well that I'm just not going to put a light up yet over them. And you can see my little thyme seedlings here. They're just starting to get their true leaves. And that's some hibiscus cuttings that accidentally broke off. There's one of my little rosemary seedlings there. Now I germinated that in the greenhouse, and I do have videos on my channel for how I grow my rosemary from seed, and I give some tips on how to get the seeds to germinate. And this is some of my basil. Now this isn't growing as fast because it's not getting all the light, so I'm probably going to be moving this here over to the lights then. My Greek oregano, we did have some of this the one night. It was really good. I put it in with our stromboli. My lovage here. You can see some of the tomatoes here on Mr. Stripey. Now, Mr. Stripey is an heirloom tomato, and I do have videos on my channel on Mr. Stripey and how I started this one and grew it in the greenhouse. You can check those out on my channel. And here's some Italian flat leaf parsley here. And we did have that with the stromboli too. I put it on top of the crust when I made it. And this is a younger tomato plant here. Now this is an early girl. See, this one here has tomatoes on it. Now this one was started later than the real big one I showed you earlier. What actually happened with this one is a piece broke off on my real big early girl plant, and I stuck it in the container of potting mix, and it rooted in, and it gave me another plant. And this here is my Little Fingers eggplant here. And I did harvest off 2 of the Rosa Bianca eggplants the one day, so we had those to eat. And we run our lights for about 8 hours at night, and they are on an automatic timer, so they automatically turn themselves off. And this is going to give them the extra light hours that they need to be able to grow quicker and get us a harvest faster. So you can see the little squash plant back there has a little squash there coming on it. So we're just waiting for them to mature now so they can start giving. And I'll show you a picture of what the greenhouse looks like at night with the lights on from what you see from the outside. And these 2 lights really light it up in here, and they put off a lot of light. I was really surprised when it's the first time that you see it when you're outside and you look in, what it looks like and how much light they put off. And you can see here my original Christmas cactus is getting ready to start blooming here for me. And you can see one of my fuchsias down here is blooming. Now this is on the heated floor side of the greenhouse, and then the rest of the greenhouse is heated by a pipe that runs around it on the inside, and when the radiant heat is on, it just runs through the pipe and helps heat the rest of the greenhouse that doesn't have the heat in the floor. And this is my one of my eucalyptus plants that I had transplanted for my experiment. Now I do have videos on my channel for how I transplant them, and I give different tips and stuff of what I've learned by growing these. And I did stake this one when I transplanted it because it was really wobbly. And it is a lot more sturdier now, so I can probably just take that stake out and take the tie off there. And this is one of my other eucalyptus trees here. I have a few eucalyptus trees in here, but this is my biggest eucalyptus tree that I have growing in here. And because the other one is doing so well, it was just transplanted last month, I'm really thinking about just transplanting this big one here into a larger container, so it continues to grow larger for me. And it's getting a little top heavy, so my water jugs that I use for solar heating is they're kind of holding it up so it doesn't fall over. Now this eucalyptus tree here, I wanted to see what would happen if I pruned it, and it had a bad spot in the stem, so I cut that out, and it's really starting to grow back out for me nicely. It's starting to get more bushier, and you can grow these as a bush if you choose to, which I'm probably going to have to do because I plan on keeping them in the greenhouse because they seem to grow best in here with the warmer temperatures, and they just seem to really enjoy the sunshine. And then like in the summertime it really heats up in here even though we run the fans, and eucalyptus loves high heat, so I seem to be doing very well with it. And here's another eucalyptus tree that I transplanted last month, and they're growing very well for me. And even though it's you know, we're in November, they're still growing very well, so I'm probably going to be transplanting the rest of them just so I can get them in their larger containers, and they can continue to grow for me. And here's a tomato that I missed on the early grow plant, so I'm just going to take this one off here. I'm not going to yank on this because I do not want to damage my plant and lose any of the tomatoes on it, so I'm just twisting this off here. There we go. And you can see this one here has more tomatoes on it. There's a leaf there I have to get rid of. Now, one thing that I want to talk to you about with the solar heating with using like your water jugs. A lot of the water jugs now are biodegradable, and what I'm finding is they're starting to leak, and then that's putting more humidity in the greenhouse. So you really got to check and make sure the jugs aren't leaking. Like this one here is leaking, so it has to go. And I'm going to be getting rid of it because I can't have too much humidity in the greenhouse, or you're going to have a problem with funguses and blights, and it's just really not a good thing. So I hope you enjoyed the mini tour of the greenhouse, and there's a lot more plants in here growing. I just wanted to give you kind of a quick walkthrough and talk to you about a few things. So you can see last month I did a more extensive walkthrough of the greenhouse and showed what was growing in it. So you can check that video out on my channel. So if you like my video, please like, comment, subscribe. Please don't forget to hit the little notification button. That'll tell you as I put a new video on. You can also follow me on Twitter. I'll have a link down in the description for my Twitter account. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day. Bye!